Right, so somebody asked me to describe to them in detail the three different types of abusers and enablers I personally designed archetypes for. I don't know if these are official or not, it's just what I named them and how I describe them personally. And since they liked what I had to say so much, I thought I'd make a video so the conversation isn't lost. There's three types of enablers. If you don't like how I describe it, then that's fine. Let me know. And if you're interested, I'll try and say it in a different way for you. Just comment. Uh, Enabler 1. Inactive. Say a kid is bullying someone else. An inactive abuser doesn't acknowledge the situation at all, even if it's right in front of them, even if it's happening to them themselves, actually. It takes two to tango, but they don't involve themselves. If the kid is theirs, they do not offer consolation. If the kid decides that this person is consoling them simply by not being a dick as well, they are not discouraged from it. However, if the aggressor asks them or pays attention, then it is easily seen that the enabler did not, in fact, help or take sides. They just sat there or stood there and did nothing. Say, for example, okay, um, you see some kid getting, slapped around by their parent or something. If you were an inactive enabler, you would say nothing, you would do nothing, you would just decide it has nothing to do with you and just not care. Or even if you do care, the effect is the same. Caring about somebody means absolute jack shit if you don't get off your ass and actually do something about it. Oh, well, I feel sorry for you being in this situation. Shut the fuck up. No, you don't. If you did, then you would actually, make it stop. Um, Sorry, my mouse almost died. Okay, the second type of enabler, aggressively passive, not passive aggressive. This is totally different. Say someone realizes that someone else has money, but they're asleep, sitting down, or in some other way having the wallet in their back pocket inaccessible. The aggressor might attack the person, demanding that they hand over the money. The aggressively passive person will be sure to have their money easily taken from them from then on. If someone else sees this behavior and points out brutalizing a family member for money is not okay, then this activates the seemingly passive person's aggressively passive behavior. They will raise their voice to the point of nearly screaming and almost uh, to the point of almost allowing their anger to explode out of them violently, defending the actions of the person who attacked them and going to war against your idea of defending someone who is being wronged. Uh, of what I'm understanding from their take, it's it's not your situation. It has nothing to do with you. Go away. Yes, they're beating me. Yes, they're stabbing me. Yes, they're robbing me. But shut up. It doesn't have anything to do with you. I don't understand that one, but uh, I've seen it in family. Anyway, just general enabler, not enabler general, just a general thing. Say there is a violent, either physical or emotional violent person in the family, and they rarely or never bother stopping themselves from hurting people. An enabler in general will not stop the person from doing this, but they might somehow soften the blows. That's enough now. Oh, you already hit him in the face 6 times. Unless, of course, it means the tide of anger might be turned towards them. They won't stop innocent people from being hurt, but what they will do is offer consolation when the brutality is not occurring away from the eyes and ears of the person who did it. Now that you can tell that, the bad guy isn't able to tell that you're actually not on their side, uh, if they are ever questioned, they can and always will, well, almost always will lie, saying that they did not take the other person's side. They often think a situation sucks for someone else, but they don't do anything to stop it, nor do they ever try to get the victim out of the situation or stop it from happening again. Uh, the three abuser types. Fearful abuser. This kind of abuser is generally a nice person, though they often call themselves bitches and assholes, and in reality that is what they are. They can be strong-willed, generous, and very loving, unless it is in the perception range, sight, hearing, fear that the person might find out, and therefore, still within their range of control, uh, of another abuser type. If the fearful abuser thinks that another abuser type might find out that they are taking the victim's side, then they will instead brutalize the victim themselves, knowing that the other abuser will not hold it against them, but will hold it against the victim for bringing up a subject or situation that is meant to slander the abuser. Uh, Example. Let me find one that's safe to use. Right. Say, for example, one of your family members enjoys molesting you. If you try and get help about this and tell somebody, then of course the person will deny it. And now, you've said something that injures how people view them or may potentially injure that. So they'll call you insane. They'll beat you when no one is around or do something else to you. Um, and the fearful abuser will encourage them to do so. Because that means they themselves are not going to get brutalized. The fearful abuser I am personally aware of will add physical attacks to their abuse if the other abuser is an emotional abuser. I don't know why, it's just what I've seen. Anyway, emotional abuser. Emotional abusers do not use physical violence, or if they do, it is far more rare than their emotional abuse. They do not have any remorse whatsoever, even if it leads to death. If a pet dies due to their negligence, as an example, then this abuser might decide to guilt the person who is the most emotionally hurt by the animal's loss, become increasingly angry over the required disposal of it, etc. You're sad. You just had a painful emotional loss. Oh hey, look, there's a horse. He's down. Let's kick him in the face for a while. That's a good idea. That kind of thing. Um, the age of the victim, as with the other two abusers, does not matter. If one of the emotional abuser's victims ever gets over their lifetime of abuse and trained self-depreciation, or even asks a question in regards to it, then the emotional abuser changes from their primary mode, bully everyone, frighten everyone to the point they're unwilling to speak or disobey, to their secondary form of abuse, which is to declare themselves a victim and that the actual victim is the one victimizing them. This crocodile tiered guilt trip is surprisingly effective, even if the victims know full well that this person is the one in the wrong. If the emotional abuser realizes that the fake crying and fake guilt is not working, then they will switch to their third form, convincing the other person through rationality that their opinion is correct. We need to watch our money, so that's why I can't take you to, buy food this month. Um, and if that fails due to incorrect logic, we need to watch our money, then why are we going to a $50 plate meal? Why don't we just, go somewhere cheaper? They'll get very angry at that. Um, had to mouse down, scroll down. I'm tired. Anyway, um, uh, then once they see that their failed logic is not working either, they become angry again and declare authority. I'm the one driving. It's my house, etc. It's disgusting to me, but this kind of person almost always gets what they want. The only time I've ever seen it not work is when the victim does not live with the person, nor do they have anything to tying them together at all. No business, no phone contracts, nothing. I mean, uh, when I say nothing, I mean absolutely nothing. No emotional ties either. I mean, to the point that, well, no, I'm not going to go into detail unless somebody asks. Anyway, um, right, nothing tying them together. Then, if this abuser does not have someone else to abuse, they appear to be peaceful, friendly, generous, and kind. Things will be different. Move back in. We can things whatever. I'm pretty sure a lot of people hearing this know at least one person that's gone through this, at least at that point. Um, Once that occurs, the abuse starts all over again, even without wasting 10 seconds. And no, that is not an exaggeration. Yeah, as soon as you move back in, hey, look, now, I have proof that, I own you, I control you, I can do whatever I like to you. They generally don't recognize that they are that evil and horrible. Um, and of course, now that you've moved back in, whoever it was that rescued you the first time, if you didn't do it yourself, now, that's a trump card you no longer have. So, yeah, you can only, you really shouldn't give people like that more than zero chances, but hey. The last type of abuser, physical. This is sadly the only kind that seems to get arrested. Physical abusers are not as complex as the emotional abuser, though they use the same primary thought. They are right, and anyone who disagrees needs to be informed that they are wrong, even if they aren't, because how dare they talk back? Physical abusers beat their mates and children, often willing to be or already is a rapist. For those who do not look like being attacked will force them to become subservient, or someone in public with witnesses, but who question this abuser's abuse of someone, often by yelling, facial or body intimidations, clenching fists, etc. Then this abuser will use their abuse in a place they know they can, one of their victims, possibly their children, when no one is around to protect them. Like I've seen this happen too many times. Say, for example, there's some parent that you can tell is a total sack of crap, and they're just, beating their kid for, whatever, no reason, or they smack him in the face because, oh, look, mommy, this is pretty. I'm tired. I'm busy. Smack right in the face, just send him sprawling to the ground. uh, you get in that parent's face, what the fuck is wrong with you? And, either they'll say, it has nothing to do with you, or they're, oh, I'm sorry, or whatever. Regardless of what they say or do there, as soon as they get home, as soon as you're not around, now not only is that kid going to get the injuries that they were going to get anyway, but now it's going to be even worse because you made them angry. They didn't get what they want. So now it's actually going to be even worse now. Of course, doing absolutely nothing is extremely bad as well.